It's February 15th, 2022. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Hanson Board of Health. We'll go to roll call. Arlene Diaz,
Here.
Kevin Perkins,
I'm here, Dennis.
and I'm here also. First order of business would be to approve the minutes for January 11th. If everyone had a chance to read them.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes.
That was for January 11th. I'll second that motion.
And we'll go to roll call. Arlene
Yes.
and Kevin.
Yes.
Yes, also. Next up, we'll set a meeting date for next month. If Teresa has any recommendations.
4 weeks would be March 15th. That's the third week in March, unless you want to go 3 weeks, which would be March 8th.
Anyone have a preference?
15th is fine with me.
That should be fine with me also, Dennis.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll call it the 15th, please. Next up is the transfer station fees. I know we talked about bringing them up in line with other surrounding transfer stations.
Are you talking about fees for items that people are throwing away or for people to be able to do stickers or both?
Actually, they fed into each other, didn't they? Because we entertained the thought of raising the fees to eliminate the stickers, but that wasn't received too well. So, they'd like us to make up that revenue, in the event that we don't.
Right.
Right.
Stickers.
So I guess my question would be, can we extend the length of time for the stickers, charge a higher cost? Could we do like a 5-year and maybe charge 60 or 65 to cover the cost of the stickers and any other implementation instead of doing it every 3 years? Because that seems to be the biggest problem. Having to do all of that work every 3 years.
Anyone else have any input?
Yeah, Dennis, I think that's on the right track as far as, make the stickers valid for, a longer duration, just so, it's not burdening our office, that it's really consuming a lot more of the time having to do renewals, say, every year. I think if we could agree on, a duration, 3 years or 5 years even, but I think definitely the fee of that needs to go up and the cost of the transfer station sticker. I'm actually on the Town of Carver website, and Carver residents cost is $140 for the first vehicle and $60 for the additional vehicle, and that's annually. On top of that, they have to buy the bags as well. But I'm just saying.
So I checked. I'm sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just kind of surfing around on the other towns' websites.
I checked surrounding towns. Halifax. These are all annual sticker prices. Halifax is $50. However, their transfer station, they do have curbside. Their transfer station is only open 11 hours a week. Carver is $140 plus bags. Plimpton is $240 and they're open 4 days a week. Pembroke is $340 a year. East Bridgewater is $125 a year and they're open 2 days per month. Rockland is $125 a year. And Middleborough is $25 and you get 12 visits annually.
Wow.
We've always been the cheapest around.
I'll say. Yeah.
They have to cut a check for over $300 every year for the.
Every year.
Yes.
It's
usually most towns bill it out. They'll do with the water bill or the tax bill or something like that. They'll include it in the same envelope. Sometimes it's, they pay it twice, per quarter. Some towns do it, some towns do it, you pay twice a year.
That's a lot of
And I
money.
got all of these prices today, so they're current prices.
Teresa, this is
Yeah.
Kevin. So
Yeah.
on the prices, I wrote them down real quick when you listed them. So which ones of those, are there any that, you know, you don't have to pay as you throw with the bags as well, or they all include that?
I think a lot of them, I know Halifax has bags, Carver has bags. I think they all have bags. I think they all have bags. Some of them have pickup, like, I think it's Carver. Carver is $140 plus bags, but the transfer station is in Wareham. It's not even in Carver.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe they share, and Middleborough does the same thing. They go to Wareham for their transfer
No,
station.
Middleborough has their own. It's $25 for 12 visits annually.
That's cheap.
And we're
So
at,
you only
what's
get 12 visits.
the cost of the sticker?
And do they buy bags?
Middleborough, I'm not sure if they buy bags as well.
One
They
visit,
may.
So the question, I guess, then is, do we go up on our annual costs? We
I
don't
mean,
want to
trash
do
is
this.
expensive.
It is expensive, but we don't necessarily want to do this every year. So do we go up on our costs and do it every 2 years? And then we can reevaluate in 2 years if we come up with a simplified system, because people are going to have a stroke if we go up on the cost and we make them pay 5 years in advance. So any ideas?
What is our current cost of the sticker, and what's the duration it's good for right now?
The current sticker is $30 for 3 years, so it's essentially $10 a year.
Okay, so it's 10 per year. And what are our small bags? We have small and large, correct?
Yeah, we have small and large bags.
What is this?
They're $11 a roll for either size. It's just there's 8 bags for the small bags and 5 bags for large bags.
So say that again, there's 11 in a small roll.
It's
Oh, no,
$11.
the bags, each roll is $11. Small bags, there are 8 bags for $11. The large bags, there's 5 bags for $11.
Okay. I'm just trying to do some quick math just to see really where we're at with some of these other towns.
$10 a year.
$10 a year, right?
Yeah,
And-
that's compared to the other towns, that is outrageous.
And Janice, we just started doing that 3 years ago.
Wow.
It was the first time we charged for stickers.
Well,
So
just for so you're aware, so municipal solid waste, so any of the orange bags, that's $98.50 a ton. And single stream recycling right now is $107.65 a ton. So the bill I have in front of me just for January, it's $7,800. And that's just for them to dispose of it. That doesn't include any hauling costs. So the hauling costs are really expensive as well.
Wow.
So just to compare it with, I guess, Carver real quick. So we're at $10 a year for a sticker. They're at $140 a year for sticker. On the bags, we're pretty much right there with them. They're charging $2 for a large bag and $1.25 for a small bag. We're charging $2.20 for a large bag and looks like $1.40 for a small bag.
Yeah.
So we're slightly higher than them per bag, but on the annual sticker, we are nowhere with them.
Yes, we have to visit that fee and bring it up to, you know, at least commensurate with other towns.
But
'Cause,
then Dennis, what do we do about the length of the sticker? They do theirs every year. I don't
Yeah.
think we want to do it every year.
No, I'm in
Have the
favor,
manpower to do it every year.
Right.
I'm in favor of the 5-year duration, actually. In the event that we do decide to go with the stickers.
But then how are we going to go up significantly on the cost and then expect people to pay? Say we say it's 100 a year, people are not going to pay $500 for 5 years. So I think we have to pick whether we're going to go up and extend it to a really long period of time, or do we go up and maybe do it in 2 years? Then it gives us another opportunity in 2 years to go up again, but we're not constantly doing it like for 1 year. I think it's going to be hard to ask people to really go up on the rate and put out a lot of money up front for 5 years.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be absurd to, so the duration for 5 years is almost double the duration we presently have, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to reasonably ask for $75 to $100 for the sticker.
But that means it would be $500 for a 5-year sticker.
How
But
do
I
you
have-
fit? They're only paying $30 for 3 years now, $10 a
Right.
year.
But if we go up $100 a year, and then we say it's a 5-year program, they pay that money up front.
No, what I'm saying, Arlene, is if we instituted a 5-year program and then we only went up to $100 a year, right? I mean, $100 for the sticker would still be getting $20 a month as opposed to $10 a month now.
Except our costs are going to continue to go up over the next 5 years. So that
Right.
we're not going to be able to capture what Teresa was talking about, the hauling costs, all of that is going to continue. It's going to be double or triple by then. And we don't have an avenue to raise the cost if we go out 5 years.
Yeah, to
So-
readdress.
So do we raise it to 100 and maybe go 2 years?
And see-
We have to take that into consideration.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, and revisit it a couple of years just to make sure the figures are working.
Yeah, the costs are gonna go up.
Right. They go up unbelievably quick.
Right.
Although someone told me that the recycling was starting to recover,
Not enough.
but that there was a market reemerging.
I don't know. They're still charging us more than we're paying for trash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd like to go up to a 5-year duration.
Can I butt in here?
Sure, go ahead.
The market, the recycling market and mainstream waste market is changing, but it's not changing dramatically enough to really make a difference. We've got the fees that are being charged now. They might be able to drop a little bit, but that's not going to be sufficient enough to cover what we need to cover. I suggest my suggestion is maybe a 4 to 5 year sticker and like a $110 fee.
Are you saying 110 for the 5 years or per year?
I was saying like for the 5-year program, like Teresa said, still not going to be enough money to cover what actually is happening now, but
That's
$2 a year. It's a lot to consider. Researching the stuff and you're not exactly sure which way the costs are going up. Some indication is that it's dropping a little bit, but you never know what's going to happen. So trying to anticipate something for 5 years is going to be tough. At the same token, you still want to go with a 3-year sticker either. So.
But 110 locks us into that for 5 years, and our costs can go up significantly during that time period, and we don't have a way to recoup or to, if we went with a shorter duration, then yeah, in a couple of years, if we have to go up again, we go up again. But I think if you're gonna do 5 years, $110 for 5 years, I think that's not gonna, it's absolutely not gonna cover any of our costs. And then what?
Well, one thing we definitely gotta reconsider here is that, the 3-year period. The 3-year period is just too short a time.
But, that's the catch 22 is if we go to a longer duration and we're locked into it,
Right,
then we don't have any recourse for the, in the event that everything goes up astronomically.
Teresa,
Yeah.
do you wanna talk about, the information that you sent out to us?
About the Unipay?
Yes,
So, instead of having people long lines down the hallway at Town Hall, for no charge to the town, Unipay, which is what, if somebody purchases, if you pay your taxes online, or, if you pay your taxes online or water bill online, that's through Unipay. So there's a small fee to use your charge card paying it online, but if you could pay for the sticker online and then the sticker would be mailed out to you.
That's a lot better than coming in.
right. But I'm
And-
wondering if, given that, there's not as much traffic in the office, if we could go with a 3-year and just figure out sort of what gives us the best over 3 years. It definitely has to double or triple, because we're not gonna be able to sustain what we're doing. So it would probably need to be at least $100 for 3 years.
Arlene, I agree with you that we don't want to extend it too far out, because if there is cost increases that, we have no control over that. We've already basically signed a contract with all the residents.
Right.
That I agree with that thinking. What do you guys think about maybe a 2-year sticker for $100? That would be $50 a year. And an additional vehicle would be maybe say $50 or $60 each. And that would be a 2-year sticker, just because, like you said, we don't know where we're going to be in 2 years. And if we extend it any longer than that, and I'm wondering if that's better maybe for the office for Teresa, just because I know it is a lot of work to do these things. So would 2 years maybe work for the office as well, that it wouldn't be them having to do it, annually?
I
and,
think,
and online
go
would
ahead, I'm
be,
sorry. I hate to keep interrupting you, Kevin, go ahead.
we can do it online too. I think that probably sounds like it will definitely help you guys out.
Yeah, I think it has to be online because, one, with COVID, yes, it's diminishing, but everybody in the building is not gonna want crowds up and down the hallways. So it's easier for everybody involved. If it's done online, they can do it whenever they want. If they want to do it at midnight, they can. Do it online, pay online, and then the sticker will be mailed out to them.
And they also have the option of sending in a check and having it mailed out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what when the building was shut down, all of this was done via the mail. People would mail me or drop off the information, and I would mail out a sticker for them.
And right now, we don't have a discounted rate for a second car right now. We're doing 30 and 30, right?
Correct. Because
Okay.
you can't discount it more than $30. I mean,
Right,
$30 is,
not bad. Okay,
yeah.
And that $50 a year of what I was thinking, that's kind of like, I kind of split it between what some of these other towns are doing, like Halifax. Their annual fee is $50 on their website, and that's per household, and that's for, I believe it's just for recycling. And then
Yeah,
they have,
and they're only open 11 hours a week. It's not
Right.
like you can go to all the hours. We're open 40 hours a week.
Right.
It's $50 in Halifax for 11 hours.
I
Like
mean,
3 hours on like Tuesday, 3 hours on Wednesday, and 5 hours on Saturday. They're open.
I feel that that's a pretty fair compromise, not to totally hit all the residents over the head and, go to a real extreme of a high price, but I think the fees are too low. I think we got to bring them up a little bit, but that would kind of give things a chance to see where things go in the next 2 years. But I think maybe $50 a year would be a 2-year sticker, so it'd be a flat 100, and then I'd be open to, a reduced fee for, you know, an additional vehicle for that household. So I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Up to you guys, but
So Kevin, you're saying $100 for a 2-year sticker, and then the second vehicle would be $50 for the 2-year sticker.
yeah, 50, 60. I mean, somewhere in that range, I think, you know, a reduced rate, not a, you know, not a double the fee, because
Right.
I think that's really fair. But I think the bag prices, looking at some of the others, I think we're not doing bad on the bag prices, but I think the annual fee needs to come up definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, and we can also, visit fees for the bulk items that are disposed of. You know,
That should be
matches.
addressed also, because we, you know, when we compared lists, we were considerably below.
Correct,
Of,
yep.
so yes,
Right.
I'd like to address that also.
Can we just do one increase at a time?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Can
No,
we
I,
do this one first and then later
Absolutely.
look at the bulk items?
right.
So do you want
Yep.
me to add bulk items to the next agenda?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so is it $100 per sticker for the first sticker and $60 for the second, or $50 for the second?
I'd go with 50, half the cost. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, 50 sounds adequate.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that's reasonable.
Okay, so
Okay.
why don't I make a motion that we
Wait,
increase?
wait,
Oops.
hold on. Not so fast. So, what about, proof of residency, or do we even care?
When they go on, they're gonna have to give you their address to mail it to, right?
Right, yep. Yep.
And
I
how
don't,
many,
if they're paying that much, who cares where they're from, really, in my opinion? They still have to pay the fee. They still are paying for bags if they're throwing their trash away.
this is
Right.
true.
That's true.
Thoughts?
That's-
I don't see an easy way to keep track of that.
Well, I could still do a database. I'd have to do a database, like I have been doing since 2014, when this whole thing started. We have a database that has all their information in it.
So
They could fill that information out. They could be required fields on the Unipay form.
right, for the name, address, all of that.
Yeah,
Registration?
make, model of car, and the vehicle registration number.
Okay,
There you go. That would work.
Okay. So that a registration, so all they have to do is pay online with the fill in the form, and they're good to go, and the sticker will be mailed out to them.
yes. Is that your questions all set?
Yeah.
All right, then I will make a motion that we increase the sticker fee for the transfer station to $100 for a 2-year period. A second vehicle at the same address would be an additional $50.
I'll second that.
And we'll go to roll call. Arlene,
Yes,
Kevin,
Yes.
and I'm a yes also.
and I should have said effective July 1st, 2022.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next up is the septic plans for 29 Arthur. Mr. Webby? See, you with us now? If everyone,
I'm pulling that plan up now, Dennis. Hang on one second. I'll Kinda
thank you.
Teresa,
Yes.
did you get a revised plan with all of the notations?
It just came in today.
Okay. So it's not the one that was sent to us, I think.
Oh, so, because I looked at the one that you guys have, didn't have the variance written on it. So somebody dropped off the variance this afternoon, at like 2:00 this afternoon.
Okay.
And it's the sieve.
I saw that written in there, but there was a lot of other little notes
Right.
of things that needed to be changed, and I just wanted to know if you had gotten a new plan.
So you have a copy of the revised plan after January 11th was the latest revision. This is the plan that we have.
Yeah, it just came in today. Yep.
I did look through the revision, so it's a, yeah, just a sieve analysis that they're looking to do that. And there's no groundwater reduction or anything, right, Teresa?
No.
Okay. Do we know if this, I know this was going through conservation. I saw that somewhere in the letter, I believe.
Yeah, I think they went through conservation like in January 19th or something.
You know if they have approved?
No, but I'll find out. So you can do it pending Concom approval.
Okay.
I can check with them tomorrow.
And there
Okay.
was a ton of notations that he made on things that needed to be corrected on the plan, and I'm wondering if those were done.
That would be
Well,
up to Gil.
Yes. Conditional on revision corrections, right, Eileen?
Yes,
Okay. All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve the plan for 29 Arthur Street pending revision corrections from Mr. Donovan and also pending conservation approval.
I'll second.
We'll go to roll call. Eileen,
Yes,
Kevin,
Yes.
and I'm a yes also. That's, next we have old or unfinished business. If we're all set, we'll go to the agent's report if you're ready, Gil. Gil,
Yep, I'm right here now.
okay.
Okay, first we'll do, we have a few residents concerned of the level of Mont Ponce Pond and in the Woodbine Ave, Mont Ponce area. Frank Sullinger, Conservation, myself, have been in touch with Brockton and, we're concerned over the levels, it's rising. Brockton is diverting as much water as they can. We're like a foot over the dam right now at Stump Brook. We're in discussion, we're trying to get a hold of DEP, we do have a beaver situation before the Stump Brook Dam. So we're both constantly working on this because it's, the water level's rising, but they're diverting as much as they can. They're diverting both ways, they're diverting through the sluice way. We're probably gonna go out there next week and look at another sluice way, see if they can change, increase the diversion. We're going to have 3 inches of rain this weekend. So it's becoming a growing concern down there, if you realize that. We can see it all over town, water levels rising everywhere. So if anything we can do to help the residents down there, plus help ourselves because we have a lot of systems down there. We should be all set with the systems, newer systems where they're at now. But, it's a concern of ours, and we're actually looking at this conservation ourselves and Brockton. So that's that on the water level. Any questions on that? I mean, I don't think we've gotten any calls about this.
No, not that I know of. Has anyone else heard anything about?
no,
I read just what that Frank put on Facebook, his concerns, and he wanted residents that might have been affected by it to contact him. But other than that, I hadn't heard anything.
Okay, next thing is the retail people, the supply chain. A lot of people are unable to get paper products, and we hadn't really been enforcing the bans we have as far as the bylaws we passed during COVID here. And now a couple of calls said they really have a supply problem, paper supply and paper cups. I've talked to a couple of people. They're trying to get it. Mostly the small places. Small businesses are having this problem, but I would say in the next couple of months, it looks like things are getting better. We'll be out there making sure, enforcing these, now that COVID has kind of slowed down quite a bit. So that's another thing that we're working on because they're just not able to get the products in the amounts they need, so.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. I had a concern, a resident who's concerned, been talking to me. They had an issue with a family member dying or something, and they had a bunch of shops, and they wanted to, see if this can be approved, that when a situation like that happens, if they don't have a transfer station sticker, to be able to dump the shops at the transfer station, our sharps container, and I've said that can't be a decision of myself. And another Eileen, if you got the same call about this,
I talked to someone about it. I think I don't remember her name, but I actually talked to someone about it. Where she had, and I couldn't remember why they didn't have a transfer station sticker.
apparently a family member that passed away, didn't have a sticker, but they ended up, or I don't know exactly what it is, but they ended up with a large container of sharps. I believe they were able to deposit in another town. It's
They
kind of a
did.
strange
They
situation.
they did go to another town to get rid of it.
Yeah, Hanover takes sharps that, at the fire station.
They do, but it wasn't Hanover that she went to, but she did tell me about that. And you know what, I don't know in that circumstance, because I think she went to the fire station and she went to the
Yes.
police station and nobody there or at either place told her that the transfer station takes them. So then she was told she could go to Hanover or Whitman or wherever it was, she ended up getting rid of them. But I couldn't believe that the police station and the fire station didn't know there was a kiosk at the transfer station and refer her to the Board of Health. You know, and
The
I
issue
don't
was
know
they-
if, huh?
The issue was none of them had a transfer station sticker. That's the issue.
No, I
wanted-
understand that, but when she went to either one of those places, they could have said to her, contact the Board of Health, they have something up at the transfer station, and then we might have been able to help her. But that didn't even happen. They didn't tell her anything about contacting us, and they didn't seem to be aware that there was a kiosk at the transfer station.
How would
I
we
think-
responded to that? I mean, like, nothing?
That's a question. I don't know. Do we give that person a letter saying that it's okay for that one time to go to the transfer station and deposit the sharps?
So how
Um,
about, how do you give a letter to one person and not another person? Would be my question.
Because
That's it.
it's one time, it's not ongoing.
But
The
there are
person-
other people that call up and say, I have a sharps container, I don't have a sticker, what do I do with it?
Okay, so what do we do about that population?
Is that something,
If somebody calls and they don't have a transfer station sticker, I always tell them that Hanover offers that service at the fire department. It has to be in a puncture-proof container, because in order to gain access to the transfer station, you have to have a sticker.
That's true.
Yeah, so if you want to buy a sticker, you could do that, or, you know,
Do we know if there are other resources other than Hanover? Because that's where we used to send everybody.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I just know Hanover has it. I thought Hanover, it was my understanding they got a grant for it. I could be wrong, but I know that's how it used to run.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I guess it would be worth checking as to what Hanover, if Hanover accepts them, if they still have a grant, there's no cost to them and they take them, we can continue telling people to go to Hanover, but they gotta be referred to us for us to tell them that. So like I said, I just didn't understand why the police department and fire department didn't say, contact the Board of Health. So she was kind of, and I don't even know how she got to the two towns that because I know she mentioned two towns. And that one of the towns did take them, but I don't remember which one.
Yeah, she had called myself and yourself after the whole situation took place.
I ran into her somewhere. She didn't call me.
Oh, you're in.
So I had a face-to-face, yeah, no, I had a face-to-face conversation with her. So she didn't call me.
Okay, next thing on the item is, yeah, I know would you call about the retract, that has been
I-
completed, Arlene?
Did you talk to Claire on Friday?
No, I didn't. I've been talking to Todd. I haven't talked to Claire at all.
Okay, Claire was gonna call on Friday and see if there was anything that you needed. So was that submitted?
Yes,
Okay,
and the school thing's all set, and we'll probably get extra as far as the school go, because the school does have an ongoing contract, a full contract.
okay. We were gonna lose money if they didn't, so they didn't participate.
So I talked
That
to
was my
Todd.
concern.
Yeah, I talked to Todd this morning. We did call them. We finally got a hold of somebody there, which was a woman that actually was from the beginning. and she got me the contract, the date and all that stuff, so we're all squared away there, so.
Can you explain to Kevin and Dennis what we're talking about?
Well, this is the, what we have to do to get grants through the, DEP and all that stuff. It's called retrack. You have to fill all the information on your, as far as your disposal, mainstream waste, recycling, and all the things you do at the transfer station. And this year starting, the schools are required to recycle. So you actually have to have a contract date and type of things that they're doing. And also along those lines, they're going to send me a list of everything that they are doing. They are doing full service recycling, so which made a good point for us.
And we get
it's all
paid,
about,
we get paid about $600 a point?
something like that, yeah. So I haven't gone through what we'd actually be getting.
Who determines the points?
State.
DEP in the survey that we did. So we did mattresses. We got so many mattresses. We did clothing, so many clothing. And that's the big thing as far as coming up in the year 22, 23. You have to break down your mainstream waste even more. They want you to pull up more stuff. If you saw the retrack out, and they're looking at, pulling furniture and that type of stuff out of mainstream waste. Like as far as the bulky item, trip ticket and stuff, instead of breaking it up and, putting in mainstream waste, you should try putting it someplace else and reuse it. So that's the thing we'd be looking at in 22, 23.
And
And
the other
that's
thing
fun.
we're gonna need to look at is food waste, how to get that out of the stream. At some point, there's gonna be a push for that.
Right.
So we got that, and then, we haven't set up Big Brother, Big Sister yet there. We have to wait to, Bay State moves their stuff, and we have to flatten the area out a little bit for their containers. Hopefully, we're gonna get that done, between the end of this week and beginning of next week. That stuff will be going along here, so. And that'll also, what items that they'll be taking will reduce our mainstream waste. The big thing we have to do is to reduce our mainstream waste and end up with other recycling in different parts, like the e-waste and the clothing, all that stuff, send it to that way there. Instead of actually doing, the recycling through the recycling company like ABC, because you gotta go through the independent contractors who are gonna pull stuff out individually. You understand what I'm saying? That brings us to about the end of it here. Any questions?
I have a question about the redemption center. What are we going to do with that?
I'm gonna find out about that. I talked to, Steve Graham today. He's the one that was running it for those guys for a while. He was doing the, taking the stuff over. He hasn't heard from anybody at all about it, so, he's gonna try to find out, if anybody else is gonna try to get involved in that, so.
Because if it's not gonna be that group, we are gonna have to go to town meeting to get that changed.
I don't think anybody's got any interest in doing it, right?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. No one's
Boy
really-
Scouts, somebody had mentioned Boy Scouts to me. I can ask. And let you know at the next meeting.
Yeah, I think, what it is, I think the big center they were going to in Brockton, that shut down or something. They put the car wash on it too, so.
They need those cans to put them back into production.
I don't even think the veterans are collecting anymore. That guy from, where was he from? Halifax or Plimpton was collecting for veterans. I don't think he's taking them anymore either, so.
No.
People post in Facebook, come get them, and no one wants it. I have about 10 bags in my barn that I'm just dying to give to anyone that would, could use them.
There's a place in Marshfield that takes them.
For charities or,
No, they take them and then they give you the money.
oh yeah, I was just thinking a charity or something that I could give them to.
I will put feelers out and let you know next month if there's
Okay.
anybody that's interested in that.
Yeah, because they're just piling up in my barn, more bags, more bags. So. Yeah, I'd love to give it to someone that could use the money,
I don't have any
Okay,
other questions.
any other questions for Gil?
Not me.
I just got a question on the, were we gonna revisit the mask mandate stuff from last meeting? Was that last meeting?
Do you think it's required? Do you think we need to?
At this point,
juncture?
it's, this Board of Selectmen has, reduced it, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right, but I don't think we should do it. I'm just saying, should we revisit that just to reiterate that we're, where we stand on it, that we are or we're not going to, just because of anyone that was at the last meeting or listening or reading in the paper about, our discussion at the last meeting, just saying that we're gonna, postpone it to the next meeting to think about it, that, I just figured we should discuss it, that's all. Just, as to what we're gonna do with it, where we stand with it, that kind of thing.
Well, as long as there's no spikes and that, things seem to be leveling off, if not going down. If you want to talk about it, we could talk about it, but
Right
It has
now,
dropped down to 12% positivity rate, so it has dropped down considerably, so.
what is the state mandate right now on public transportation and where else? Hospitals, doctor's
That's just-
offices?
Hey, public transportation, healthcare facilities or something.
And that's it. I think it's just those two places right now. And that's for vaccinated and unvaccinated.
right.
Yeah,
And businesses, I think, can set their own.
yeah,
I don't
as
know if-
always, this is can be.
Yeah,
more-
private businesses can do what they want,
Right.
Yeah,
as long as there's no mandates.
Well,
Well, what is here, the advisory came out today. It says, all Massachusetts required, regardless of vaccination status, required to continue wearing face covering in certain settings, including transportation, healthcare facilities. And that's it, this advisory that came out today, and it just tells you to go to www.mass.gov, the mask rules. So that's about it. That came out today, this afternoon. Kind of doesn't make sense how they wrote it, but that's what they're saying.
right, it's not mandated for any place else, but those two have not been lifted. Public
Correct.
transportation. So I guess we can revisit it if we have a spike in cases. We can always add it to the agenda for next month or the month after to look at whether or not we need to do something.
Yeah. Is that good enough, Kevin, or did you want to take it further? Kevin? Hello?
Can you hear me?
there you go.
Now I can, yeah.
No, I expressed last meeting that I didn't agree with the mandate whatsoever, but I just wanted to, just to continue the discussion on it, that's all, because we had tabled it, I believe, at the last meeting, so I just didn't want to let it go by the wayside to anyone that was interested in it or listening in on it, that's all, just so we could kind of just continue the conversation as to whether we're doing anything with it or not. I'm not interested in it. I don't feel we should be doing it, but I just figured we continue the conversation. That's all.
Again, if the conditions arise, we'll revisit the matter. But right now, I feel there's any need to take it up.
All right, that sounds good, Dennis.
Okay, thank you. I think we're all set. If everyone's all set, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
And we'll go to roll call. Arlene,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
I'm a yes also. Thank you very much. Have a good evening now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.